Good evening. It is April 14th, 2020. It's a Tuesday. And I know that because the calendar's in front of me. Earlier today, I really thought it was Thursday. I thought the days were long, and I figured I was already at Friday. So that explains the cocktail at it is 7 o'clock at night, though, so it's okay. So a couple shout outs. I got my Rutgers hat on. I do have an, where is it? It's over here. EFS flannel on. Tom Wasaki company did a lot of work for historically. Every year he did a March Madness contest, and if you ended up in the top 10, you got this apparel. I got a couple of them. I did some good gambling in a couple of years. So today would be eve of tax day. Tomorrow would be April 15th, but right now it's been moved to July 15th. As far as I'd like, it should be moved to July 15th of 2025. But anyway, couple thoughts for this evening. At sundown, you start the 7th and 8th day of Passover, not on one day, but multiple days. Which are the holy days at the end of the Chol HaMoed, the days of Passover. On the 8th day, we say something called Yizkor. Yizkor. I can't pronounce it. Y-I-Z-K-O-R, Yizkor. And it's a memorial prayer. And you say it throughout the year on Yom Kippur, 8th day of Passover, Shmini Atzeret, which is during the high holidays also. And you say it on Shavuot. And you also say it on the day of the Hebrew calendar anniversary of the person's passing. I say it for my mom, because my mom passed away 15 years ago this coming May. I guess I say it for my father. He passed away December of 2018. I won't go into that story right now. But it's that time of reflection. And time of thinking about the people who've gone before us, and I can't help but keep reflecting upon the fact of the people who are dying today because of this pandemic, the thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people who are sick, millions of people in the world. I always have this cough, don't worry. So it's a tough time. 4 weeks I've been sitting in this house. My only time I go out is I go to my office to check the mail. I may spend a day there to do some work because it's sometimes easier to do on the finances. Or I go to the food store. Or when I was doing some projects, I went to Lowe's. I mean, seeing people, talking to people on the computer. That's it. This is very strange and really could play with your psyche. Really could get you depressed. I could see how easily you could be depressed. But you can't get depressed. There's so many things in life that you can't get depressed. Your kids, your grandkids. I'd like to say the stock market, but we can't say that anymore. But I don't have any money in the stock market anyway. But the reflection of today and my thoughts, because I had a really unique day. As I've already told you, if you've been following my blog, I am in the midst of bankruptcy. On May 13th of 2019, I filed Chapter 11 reorganization bankruptcy. What does that mean? It means I start over. But all of the people I owe money to, we negotiate a plan. We kind of negotiate a buyout. We try to come up with numbers. Chapter 11 allows me to collect the receivables that were outstanding and operate the business forward. But everybody I owe money to, let it be personally guaranteed or not, has the opportunity to vote to approve the plan, and they get a piece of the money I pay out over the next 5 or 7 years. All put together. My attorney's been fantastic. We've been working on this for a year. There's different times you go to court. You have to put, basically, you open up your entire life and the courts look at that. And it's all shared. You can Google me on, Brilliant Environmental. Hopefully you come up with my website. But you can put in there bankruptcy, and you can read everything about it. It's all public information. I'm an open book. You want to call me, I can talk to you about it too. April 30th is my plan approval day. Today's the 13th. That's 17 days away. Take a drink. It's healthy. So it's got lime juice and maybe a little bit of tequila. But it's good. It's definitely good. Hey, liquor stores, essential businesses, they've stayed open through this pandemic. I will ask that question later on. I want to know why, but I do know why. Because you need a little spirit every now and then. So 17 days to my plan approval. Each one of the vendors, each one of the banks, each one of the people I borrowed money from, everybody who's named in my bankruptcy has the opportunity on this committee of vendors, creditors, to vote yes or no from the plan. If they don't vote, it's like voting no. So I have spent the better part of 4 to 6 weeks reaching out to people who hate my guts. I'll take that back. I have a handful of vendors who have continued to support me. I have to pay them in 30 days based upon the court requirement. But I have a driller, I have a laboratory, friends who've been friends with me for 30 years. Mark, Fidelson, Precision Analytical, lab I've been dealing with. He's had a couple different labs over the years. Been fantastic. We've been through the muck. 1989, I brought him a rock from a site in Milton, New Jersey that my boss at the time, Tony Cole, at Groundwater Environmental Services, told me, go have Mark analyze this rock for total petroleum hydrocarbons. I drove from Milton, New Jersey to Princeton, Plainsboro actually, and I said, Mark, analyze this rock. And Mark did what Mark would always do. He grabbed a hammer and he broke it and he analyzed the pieces of the rock. Because Mark's always thinking out of the box. He has stuck with me through this, and I owe him money in the bankruptcy. Hopefully he votes yes. I've been asking people to vote yes. Why? Because it is the only way they get a piece of what I owe them out of the plan. I need to get a certain number of yeses. I need to get a certain dollar value from those yeses. So I need greater than 50% of the money in my bankruptcy, and I need greater than 50% of the people to say yes. So imagine how tough it is. Imagine, that you borrowed $15 from your sister and you can't pay her back. And you got to go tell her, I can't pay you back. And not only can't I pay you back, I need you to support me in my next venture. And you might get $2 of the $15 back. It ain't easy. You swallow your pride. You do what you have to do. I do it because I believe in the people who work with me, and I believe in every client who has believed in me over these years. So when we talk about this pandemic, we talk about people around us, and we talk about death, and we talk about sickness, and we talk about how do we come out of this. There's talking about how do we come out of this. There are so many reasons to be depressed. So many reasons why you struggle. But then you think about the people in your life. You think about the people around you. My brilliant family is my family. I've already talked about the fact they've been with me for years. I'd like to think some of them would take a bullet for me. Hopefully that never comes to that. But I support them, they support me. Because of that, I will continue to fight and fight and fight for this company and for who I am. Will I come out whole at the end? No way in hell. Never. Never. I've already given up a lot. But I made mistakes. I relied on people who were not reliable. I asked people for support and I asked people for questions who didn't know from their ass from their elbow. I've learned. Every time that I've had to restart my life, I have learned a new lesson. And you need to learn a lesson today. And that lesson is you can come out of the dark. Things will get better. But you have to make it through each day. You have to think about why we do what we do. What do you want when we can go back out again? Ice cream sandwich? A good dinner at a restaurant? The opportunity to shake somebody's hand? Don't know if any of those are going to happen. But we all want to be here to do that. We all want to be here to find that out. And we all need to work together to do it. I still have a struggle ahead of me. Until April 30th, I don't know what's going to be the status of Brilliant Environmental. But I know we're going to continue to work. We are busy. We're providing our clients with the best services. And whatever happens on April 30th, I almost said on April 31st. No, on May 1st, we'll still be here. I will still be here. Will I be whole? Will I be half? Whatever I have to give and do for my employees, I will, as well as for the rest of my family. I will close this, and hopefully you've stayed to watch the whole thing. I have a dilemma and I need some help. So don't tell her, but my sister, Anna, is going to be 60 years old on April 20th. Don't tell her I told you. What the heck do I get her? And by the way, what do I get her that I can send her? She moved into a new house earlier this year with her family. I haven't even seen it yet because we've been so crazy. What do you get the person who, not that she has everything, but she doesn't ask for anything? But my best friend. I mean, we've been together through thick and thin over the years, and I would give my right arm for her if she needed it. And I know she would give me at least her pinky. Oh, I needed that pinky. It didn't come. If anybody has any suggestions, email me at mrpib13@gmail.com. That's Mr. Pib13@gmail.com. I need some help. Otherwise, be safe, be smart, stay well, stay inside, and remember, every day is a new day. And as dark as it seems right now, and as much as we watch TV and the news, and it just seems like it's not going to end, it will end. We will all play baseball again. Be well and good night.